y'all? It's your girl Kayla Renee, and I'm back with another video. So in today's video, I'm just going to give you guys, a couple of tips on how to start your own business. I'm going to tell y'all how I started my own business, why I started my own business, and just stuff like that. So before I get started with this video, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on my post notifications so you know when I post another video. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is how I started my own business and why I started my own business. So honestly, I started my own business when I was a freshman in college. So currently I am a junior at Georgia State University, but when I was a freshman I was at Kennesaw. So I started my own business because I was like, I hated Kennesaw. Like, I would literally go to class, do my homework, sit in my dorm. Like, I didn't make any friends. I made like one friend when I was at Kennesaw. I made like one friend. I didn't have nothing to do. Like, I would go out sometimes, but like, it was just like, I was just there. So I was like, I gotta find something to, occupy my time. Like, I really want to start a business, but I didn't really know like what I wanted to do or like stuff like that. So when I first started out, I was selling hair and I was selling lashes. So I really started out with lashes first, and then I added hair to my website. So obviously the hair thing didn't work out because I ain't gonna lie, selling hair is like so hard. Especially like testing vendors if you don't like buy a vendor list, or even if you do buy a vendor list, you still gotta test the hair. So testing hair, we're trying to get people to buy a product. Like, if I would have stayed consistent with the hair, then maybe I could have, but like, I knew that's not something that I wanted to do. So I stopped doing that. Like, I was not consistent when I started my business. I was not posting, I was not taking pictures, I was not doing nothing. Like, I'll post here and there, but it was not consistent at all. So after I started my business, then I kind of stopped. Maybe like 2 or 3 months later, I kind of stopped. So then I want to say it was the summer of my freshman year. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give this whole business thing another go. So this time I sold sunglasses. I started selling sunglasses, and I started with, I still had lashes. So it was sunglasses and it was lashes. So the sunglasses went pretty well. Like, out of everything I sold, the lashes and the sunglasses, I sold the most sunglasses. But I still wasn't like consistent. I wasn't posting. I wasn't like promoting myself. I wasn't doing none of that. So I stopped again because I wasn't consistent. So it's not like I stopped on purpose, but it was like, if I'm not gonna keep posting, then why am I like doing this? Why am I spending my money on a website and all this other stuff? I really wasn't motivated to start, like, to push myself to do my business until this year. Like, January 2020 is literally when I was like, okay, you're gonna do this or you're not gonna do it. So this is the last time. If you're gonna do it, then you gotta do it. So, hello. Okay, so anyways, like I was saying, I didn't really get like focused and like really push myself to start my business until January 2020. When I first started my business, I had one name. Then when I redid it, I came up with another name, and then now the name I have now is the name that I came up with when I relaunched in January. So, well, technically not even January. I launched in January, and then I was like, I want to change like everything. I want to change my logo, I want to change my name. So I did that around like March. It was like March when I rebranded. So I changed my name like 3 times. I changed what I wanted to sell like 3 times. I just felt like this time, like, as I said, the 3rd time is the charm. So I feel like this 3rd time is really like, okay, I figured out what I had to do. I did what I had to do, and I'm gonna keep doing what I gotta do. So I just feel like if y'all want to start your business, just start it. Like, just start it. It's okay if you're not consistent at first. You gotta figure out if this is something that you really want to do. But I feel like if you're investing your money into something and your time, and it's something that you really want to do, then just do it. Like, Don't worry about what nobody else got to say. If you're not consistent, that's on you. So if you really wanted to do it, then you know, okay, I have to be consistent this time, or it's not going to work. Or I have to always be consistent, or it's not going to work. So if you're not going to be consistent, don't start no business. But if you know this is something that you want to do, then do. So now that I've told y'all, you know, my story and why I started my business, I'm just going to give y'all a couple of tips and, you know, let y'all know what I learned throughout this process, because it's been about 2.5 years since I started my business, but you know, I've learned a lot of stuff along the way, so I figured why not give you guys some tips. Okay, so the very first thing you want to do when you're trying to start a business is to make sure that you have a notebook. So this is my notebook. I've had this notebook since I started my business in 2018. So I have torn out a lot of pages in this notebook. Like, it's not really even a notebook. It's like a pad, a notebook pad, and then it's like this little cover. But I got it because it has a clipboard and stuff. So like when I have printed out my orders and stuff, I can just put the orders on the clipboard, stuff like that. So like I said, I did print out a lot of pages because I did change my business like 3 times. So I don't want the old stuff in here with the new stuff or the stuff that I'm doing now. So I write down literally everything in this notebook, like all of my brainstorming ideas, all of my names that I went through, all the products I sell, my prices. I write down everything in this book. So I do have my tips that I'm giving you guys today written down in this notebook. So if y'all see me looking down, you know I'm just trying to make sure that I don't forget anything. So once you get your notebook, the first thing you want to write down are like your goals, your plan, what you want to sell, stuff like that. So the very first thing that I wrote down in my notebook was what I wanted to sell. So I had a couple of different ideas of what I wanted to sell, but like I knew it was going to be hair and lashes in the very beginning. So after I wrote down what I wanted to sell, I did some research. So I do have a video on how to find a vendor with Alibaba.com, which is where I found my first lash vendor and also my first hair vendor that I used when I first started my business. So make sure you guys check that video out if you need help finding a vendor. Only using Alibaba though, because that's the only website I cover. So after you get your notebook, the very first thing I wrote down was what I wanted to sell. So when I first started, like I told y'all, I sold hair and lashes. So that's the very first thing I wrote in my notebook. Like, I knew I wanted to sell lashes. I knew I wanted to sell 25mm and 3D. So I wrote both of those down. That was back when 25mm was like becoming more and more popular. So I knew like, okay, a lot of people might like these. So after I brainstormed and stuff, I went and I did my research on the products I wanted to sell. So, like I said, I started off with lashes, so that's the very first thing I did my research on. This was before I knew what Alibaba.com was, so doing my research, I came across Alibaba, and that's how I found my very first lash vendor. So I did my research on that, and then later on down the line, I decided I wanted to add hair, so I added hair to my website. So after you decide what you want to sell, make sure that you guys do your research. So after you do your research, you want to come up with your name. So you know what you want to sell. Now, what is my business going to be called? So when I started, I wrote down like 500 different names. I knew I wanted something with glam in it because I like glam. I like the pink, I like the glitter, I like girly stuff. So I knew I wanted something with glam in it. I played around with a couple of names, and that's how I got my very first name. So after you figure out what your name is, you want to go ahead and go to Instagram or Twitter or whatever it is that you're going to use to, you know, promote yourself on, and try to figure out what your name is going to be on that social media platform. Obviously, you want your ad name to have something to do with your business, but your full name may not be available because, you know, other people might have the same idea that you do. So that's why I said you want to play around with your name and your Instagram handle, just in case you know you want to change your name, or you have to tweak your name a little bit to fit Instagram without having the same name as somebody else. After you do your name and your social media, then that's when I picked my colors for my business. So since I changed my name like 3 or 4 times, I changed my colors like 3 or 4 times. So once you pick out your colors, then you'll be able to, you know, design your logo. So I designed my first logo with Canva. I'm gonna see if I can find a picture of my first logo so that I can like insert it. Like, it was so plain, it was so basic. It was like, oh my god. I mean, my logo now is still basic, but what it was back then, it was like, oh, okay. So after you figure out what your colors, your logo, your name, all that other stuff, you want to figure out what your target market is. So this kind of ties into what you're selling, because your target market is going to basically be the people who are interested in your products. So if you're selling lashes, you don't want your target market to be like 65-year-old women, because a lot of older women don't even wear like 25mm lashes. Some do. Now, I'm not saying all of them don't, but some do. So that's why when you're picking your products, you want to kind of, tie your target market into what your products are. So when I started, a lot of younger girls, a lot of teenagers, they wear lashes. A lot of younger girls wear weaves. So that's my target market, 13 to 30. 13 to 30. So that was my target. So after you pick your name and your logo and all that stuff, you want to go ahead and you want to pay for an LLC. Because if you're sure that like this is the name that you want your business, and you're not going to change the name, like it doesn't matter if you change the logo, but if you're not going to change your name and this is the name that you want your business to be, go ahead and make it official. Because say you start posting on Instagram, start posting your pictures and stuff like that, and somebody run across it and they like your idea, like they steal your whole idea, and your name isn't, like you haven't registered for LLC, they can go and steal your name. And then if they go and steal your name and they pay for an LLC before you, you're gonna have to change everything. So my suggestion would be to go ahead and go pay for an LLC. Now, since I did change my name like 3 times, when I first paid for my LLC, it was $100. So the next, like every time you change your name, you won't have to repay the whole $100. You'll only have to pay $20 per name change, and then every year you'll pay $50. So make sure that you go and you pay for your LLC. It's only $100 and it's a really good investment. So after paying for your LLC, you guys want to go ahead and decide how you want to sell your products. You can sell them in person, you can have an online store, you can do a pop-up shop, you can do a combination of all of them if that's what you want to do. My suggestion would be to go ahead and open up an online store. Now there are cheaper sites. When I first started, I just jumped right into Shopify because I felt like it gave me everything that I needed, and it was like a monthly flat rate fee. So I do know that's an alternative, a cheaper alternative to Shopify, which is like Big Cartel. I think it's like less than $20 a month. I've never used Big Cartel, so I don't really know like how the plan works. But again, it's something where like you're just starting out your business. You don't know like if you're gonna be consistent with starting your business, but you want to have like a way for customers to buy online. I would choose like Big Cartel, Wix, something like that. One thing I want to touch on about opening an online store is if you decide to charge taxes on your product, make sure that you apply for an EIN number. An EIN number is free, and it's basically like a social security number for your business. So when you go to file your taxes, you'll be able to file your business taxes as well. Even if it doesn't work out in the long run, you'll still be able to file the taxes for what you did sell while your business was going on. And the EIN number is free. I don't know if I said that earlier, but it is free. So if you decide that you want to go the online route, you want to go ahead and set up your website. So I know when I set up mine, I went ahead and I bought a domain, because if you don't buy a domain and say you do your site with Shopify, your name would be whatever your website name is, .myshopify.com. And I just feel like that's not really professional. So I brought my domain through Google, but I do know that they have GoDaddy and they have really cheap domains. My domain is $12 a year, but I'm not really sure how much GoDaddy is a year. I know it says starting from 99 cents, but I don't really know what that 99 cents includes. So setting up your online store includes buying the domain and then setting up what products you're selling, like coming up with your names for your products, as well as go ahead and inserting those names onto your website, and also any pictures that you have taken of the products after you receive your shipment and stuff like that. I will say that a lot of people would rather purchase from people who have real photos rather than stock photos from your vendor, because they want to see that you've actually purchased these products, you have them on hand, and you're able to ship them out. And then also lets them know like you're legit, like you're not a fraud. So make sure that you take product pictures of your items so that you can post them on your website. So that's pretty much the basics that you would like have to do to start your business. A couple of other things I want to touch on are like support from your friends and stuff like that. So I would say don't look for support from like people from your hometown, you know, friends you thought you would have, because honestly I'm gonna say they're not gonna support you. Like, don't get your hopes up. Don't be out here begging people. Don't be out here begging people to, you know, share your posts, share your stories, promote your products, buy your products without a discount. Don't look for people to do that, because for one, people support who they want to support. So if you know that you're not like super popular in your hometown or already have a really big following, you're gonna have to put in the work. You're gonna have to do what you have to do to get sales, to get people to recognize your business. Without support from people in your hometown, people you thought were your friends, because 9 times out of 10, they're not going to buy anything from you. They're not even going to repost your pictures on their Instagram story, on their Snapchat story, on their Facebook. They're not going to share your posts. They're not going to do anything. They don't want to see you successful. They don't want to see you win. They don't want to support anything that's not beneficial to them. So it doesn't matter how much you support them. I can guarantee you 9 times out of 10, the support isn't going to be returned. Like, you can say, oh, they started their business, or I always repost their pictures on my Instagram, or stuff like that. You'll notice that once you launch your business, people aren't really going to support you. Like, because for me personally, I don't repost my business stuff on my regular page, because for one, when I would post it and I would tag my business page, like, people really, they would go click on it, but they wouldn't follow me. They wouldn't repost none of my pictures. They support who they want to support, who they want to support. So I stopped posting it on my page for one, because of that. And for two, I feel like I posted it so much that even if you don't follow me, like, if you wanted to place an order with me, then you know what my business Instagram is. My website is still in my bio on my regular page, and I'm pretty sure a lot of my followers click on my regular page, like, to look at my profile, so they see that I have a website in my bio, so they can click on the website there. Like, a lot of people know what my business is, so I feel like if you wanted to actually purchase something from me, then you know how to purchase it, you know where to find me, you know how to DM me. Some people know my phone number, so if they really wanted to support, they would support that way. Even if they didn't follow me, they could repost when I used to repost my pictures on my regular page. So that's another reason why I stopped promoting myself on my regular page. And the third reason why is because when I first started, you know, I wasn't getting a lot of sales. So I've made about $5,000 for the past 2 months, like each month. So I made $5,000 each month. Ask me how many of those sales came from my friends, came from people I follow. Like, maybe $200 worth came from my friends. Majority of them are my friends. And the rest of the $200 probably came from like them just happening to see a post. I do post on my Facebook page sometimes, so some of those sales came from that. But nothing from people who follow me on Instagram every day, watch my regular Instagram story every day, and decided to, you know, support me and purchase from me. So that's the last reason why I don't look for support from people I know. I don't look for support from my friends, because like I said, they're going to support who they want to support. So if somebody out here who just started a business and they know everybody and they're super popular with everybody, people are going to support them. They're not going to support you. They're going to support them. So just show them that you can do it, like, you know, without their support. And then when they finally see that you actually own, and then they want to support you, you're going to be like, well, I don't need your support now. Like, I'll take it. But when I was trying to make it here, y'all didn't want to support me. But now that I'm here, y'all want to support me. Like, I don't get it. So, the next thing I want to talk about is being consistent. So like I said, when I first started my business, I was not consistent at all. I was not posting every day. I was not promoting myself every day. I was not giving away free stuff. I wasn't doing any giveaways. I was not making it so that people could see my business, see what I sold, stuff like that. So now that I've relaunched and I've actually figured out, you know, what I need to do in order to become what I want to become, I've been promoting every day. I do giveaways. I literally post on my Instagram every single day. And posting on my Instagram every day has really boosted my following for one. I did have a popular YouTuber post one of my products, so that boosted my following a lot. When I first rebranded in March, I believe I had like 800 and something followers. Now I have over 2,000. So just in 2 months, I've grown my Instagram following so much, and I just feel like if I'm even more consistent and I post every day and I do my promotions how I'm supposed to, then I just know like my following will keep growing. And I also want to say that you want to be patient. So I'm nowhere near where I want to be right now. And I'm pretty sure when you're first starting, like you'll be like I was, and you're like, I just want to give up. I'm not making any sales. People not following me on Instagram. People not supporting me. People not doing this. People not doing that. But it's all about being patient. Like, sales aren't going to come overnight. You're not going to make $1,000 the first day you open unless you already have like a huge following, unless you're like Instagram ambassador, something like that. Don't look for your sales to just start skyrocketing when you first open, because it will take time. So you just have to be patient. Don't rush the process. Like, it's gonna come, but you just have to be consistent. Like, you have to be consistent in order to see progress, and in order to see change. You have to be consistent. Like, I cannot stress it enough. You have to be consistent. Say it with me. You have to be consistent. Consistency is key. I did not realize how much being consistent was, like how important it was, until I woke up one day, like overnight, and I had $1,000 worth of sales. I'm like, dang, being consistent is like really helping my business. When you see the sales being where you want to be, you know, if you keep being consistent, you're like, dang, I can double this, I can triple this, I can like do this in my sleep. Like, I can be making money in my sleep as long as I'm being consistent while I'm awake. So now that I gave you guys some tips and tricks, that is pretty much the end of this video. If you guys like it and you want to see more content like this, make sure you hit that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on my post notifications, let you know when I post another video. Also, don't forget to check out my website. I do offer wholesale as well as individual products. So I'm going to make sure I link that down in the description box below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.